Hi there, Connor McClenahan with Kupla Media, and I want to talk to you about script writing. Script writing is huge. It's your message. It's the core of your video. You can make as good of a video as you want, but if you don't have a clear message, your clients won't care. They won't pay attention. And so the first thing that I want to talk about is two different modes that I see people do whenever they do any kind of marketing, but especially video marketing. There's one mode which is I need client mode. That's this anxiety that we have as clinicians, and maybe it's why you're watching this video in the first place. I know certainly for me, it's what made me build my website. It's what made me hustle to try to get things online. It is this anxiety that I'm not going to get enough clients in the door. I've got to keep myself afloat, and so I need clients to come in the door, and so I'm going to market. I'm going to put out a video. I'm going to do what I can. And here's the danger with that. When we are that focused on our own need, we fail to connect with clients. We say things that don't connect with them that end up being more about us. So a video that sounds more like an I need clients video is videos that start like this. Hi, I'm Connor McClenahan, and I specialize in treating people with anxiety. I'm passionate about this. I'm working for this many years, and nobody cares about that. Your clients don't care about that. They won't connect to it. Because they sense immediately that you are more concerned about getting them in the door than you are with empathetically connecting with where they are in their journey. So the second mode that I want to try to help you get into more when you write your script is this mode of compassionate turning towards your client. So I'm using the word from Martin Buber there, turning, of this idea that there's an encounter that we can have, even over video, with a client that is authentic and direct and focused and clear that we can enter into. So what that looks like when I picture it is that there's a part of me that instead of trying to pull them in, instead I turn with my full self toward them and communicate directly to where I imagine they are in their journey. So what does this require? The first thing, the most important thing that you can do when you write a script, and if you do this really clearly, you might not even have to write a script, is identify and visualize your ideal client. So the first step that I would have you do is pick a client. Pick a current client that you have, maybe one that you really like, maybe that one that you feel really refreshed with after you meet with them, a person that makes you feel empowered, that reminds you about how good it is to be a therapist. And I want you to pick them in your mind. I want you to focus on that person. And I want you to imagine that that person is just starting therapy. They're just looking for a therapist right now. Even though they've already been to your office, they've already seen you. Imagine, kind of go back in time a bit in your mind and imagine they're just looking for a therapist right now. They don't know you yet. And imagine that they go out to coffee with a friend, right? So picture your client, they're walking down the street, they go to coffee, they sit down, and the friend asks your client, they say, what is it that you really want in your life? What is it that you really are longing for? And what would your client say? How would they say that? Maybe they say, I just so wish I could feel more free. Or, gosh, I just have so much burden on top of me. I wish I felt more powerful. Or maybe they just wish that they could have peace in their home. Whatever it is, think about that for a second. Picture them. What language do they use? Get out from the psychobabble jargon that you might use about anxiety or depression, and think for a second, how would they language that? Maybe they've even said it in session before about what they really long for in their life. And the second thing you're going to do, maybe you can jot down some notes there. Maybe the second thing you're going to do is you're going to imagine what is getting in the way. So imagine them in the coffee shop again. Their friend asks them what they're longing for. And then what's getting in the way of them getting what they're longing for? What is that obstacle? What's standing right there that keeps them from having that? And I want you to picture that for a second. Maybe they're overwhelmed. Maybe they have too many demands on their life. Maybe they're stressed. Maybe their marriage is falling apart. Maybe they don't know how to connect with their kids. They don't feel like they have the tools to do it. Or they're raised with parents who couldn't support them, so they feel vulnerable. What is that? What is the thing that's standing in their way? I want you to picture that and write it down. Now right there, those two things are really all you need in order to write a script. Because what you need to be able to do when you're sitting in front of the camera, when you're staring into the lens, is you need to be able to focus in on that person. You need to be able to visualize them, to see their face, to see their facial expressions in order to make a good video. You have to picture them, because if not, then we go back into I need client kind of video, where we end up focusing more on ourselves, our own anxieties, our own insecurities, our own fear that we won't have clients or that we won't have enough. And the only thing that can help, or the only thing that I've really found can help, maybe you could think of other things, but the only thing that I have found to help is picturing, visualizing my client as strongly as I can in front of me. So that's the essence of writing a script. So basically what you're going to do with those two pieces is you're going to start out with describing. You might not even have to say your name at the beginning of the video. You could start out by describing that longing. So you can say, you may long to feel at peace in your family. It's so hard. You know, you want to feel connected. You want to feel engaged with your family. And yet, and here's the obstacle part, and yet you're overwhelmed. Maybe you don't feel like you know how. Maybe you weren't raised with parents who taught you how to manage conflict well. And so you feel frustrated. You don't know what to do. So that is the core of your message right there. From there, what you want to do, and this is all in our ebook again, but from there what you want to do is you want to give them a plan. You want to say, so you feel this way, and I can help. What I do is I invite you into my office. We can sit down and talk about and identify what problems you're facing so that we can start to take steps forward today. And maybe you can describe that in detail. I don't know how much detail you want to go into. And then you wrap up with a strong call to action. You want to let them know really clearly, without any shame in your voice, that it's okay to give you a call. So you can say that by saying, so give me a call today. Something really clear and simple, right? And sometimes that is the hardest part for therapists. I know as we work with therapists, that's the part that we have to do over and over and over again because it sounds odd coming off your voice. But it can be helpful to just practice it. So it can say something that you can say it as simply as this. So give me a call. Let's talk about how we can move you forward today. Or, so I invite you to give me a call. Let's talk about how we can move forward today. So with those pieces, I know you can make an amazing script, and my suggestion isn't to write anything down. All you have to do is think about what is their core desire, what's standing in their way, what plan do you have to offer, and then giving them a clear call to action to help them reach out and make a call. So with those pieces, I know you're going to do great. I would, instead of writing it down, practice it with a friend, go out to coffee, and talk through your script, say it out loud, and ask them what connects with them, what doesn't. And then practice in front of a camera. Get in front of a camera, maybe even your iPhone, and set it up and practice saying that script in front of the camera. And then, here's a cool little extra tip. Also what you can do, take that script and delete your entire Psychology Today profile words, all that jargon, and put your script right there on your Psychology Today. That's a twofer. So you don't just get to use it in your video. Now you have an incredibly clear message that speaks right to your ideal client that's on your webpage or on your Psychology Today page. So I hope that's helpful. In our next video, we're going to be talking about how to use your video online, how to post it online, and what to do so that you can actually have your clients see that video really clearly. All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.